Hello everyone, it's me, Suzanne, Tiny Chef, live from Gold Hill. It's my first time doing the Instagram live, so let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. Today we're going to be doing a hands-on pasta refresher course for everybody who may have missed my pasta classes on Facebook Live a few weeks ago. So today we're just gonna make the pasta and let it rest overnight, and tomorrow we'll roll it out together and make the summer vegetable lasagna. So we'll do a little mini live cooking class tomorrow at 4 o'clock as well at the Tiny Chef on my Instagram live page. Hello everyone, it's so good to see you. Let me tell you a little bit about what I've been up to recently. So most of you know, and maybe you don't, so I'm going to tell you, that I moved out to Gold Hill, North Carolina about 3 years ago, and moved to a very tiny farm. That's what I call it, the tiny farm. And I started beekeeping, so now I have honey. And we just extracted our first round of honey a couple of weeks ago. Look how beautiful it is. Can you see how gorgeous? So this honey's super dark. Last year our honey was a lot lighter. So I asked my bee mentor what he thought the bees might have pollinated off of to make this honey. And he said he thought it was poplar honey. So this is probably poplar honey. I could have it tested, but I'm not going to because it's just delicious as it is. But we'll be extracting again soon, so there will be some honey available for sale very soon. Another thing I've been up to this morning actually is picking pears. So my neighbor has an awesome pear tree, and every year we're like, what do we do with these pears? So I think we're gonna actually be selling some pears very soon. So if you're interested in, I can't really call them organic, but I'm gonna say they're not sprayed with anything, and they're really delicious. I was eating them and snacking on them while I was picking them. I think I'm gonna make like a pear sauce instead of applesauce, and maybe some pear preserves or jam or something like that. So if you're into that and you don't mind ugly looking on the outside but delicious on the inside pear, let me know and I'll hook you up. One other thing that we've been doing on the farm is using beeswax to make products. So I'm toying around with a couple of different things. Just made some lip balm, so we'll be selling Tiny Chef, Tiny Farm lip balm. You can follow all my honey things at the Tiny Farm Honey, all of my beekeeping adventures. I think that's enough plugs about myself. Let's get to why we're really here. We're really here to make pasta, right? Hey Jeannie, hey Laura, hey Julie. All y'all already know how to make pasta, but we'll do it together anyway. Alright, so what's the first thing we're gonna do? Weigh our flour, right? Today I'll be using like an all-purpose, whole wheat all-purpose flour. It's organic, really yummy. Coldwater Creek, if you're local to like Charlotte area or Davidson area, North Carolina, Coldwater Creek Farms has really delicious whole wheat flour that you can use. You can use just regular all-purpose flour for this as well. You're going to want to pull out your gram scale, which I know before I said only drug dealers have, but it's not true. Not only drug dealers. It's people who did Weight Watchers, and maybe some bakers in there too who have scales. Or maybe somebody who likes making like lip balms and stuff. You got to weigh out those things too. So you're going to want to do grams, and the reason you're going to want to weigh it in grams is because the recipe is super easy to remember in grams. You're going to weigh out 100 grams of flour to every 1 egg for the handmade pasta. 100 grams of flour to every 1 egg. That means if you're making 200 grams of flour, you're going to need 2 eggs. 300 grams of flour, 3 eggs. You get the idea. Super easy to remember that way. So you're going to put whatever ball on your scale, And then you're gonna bring it to 0 so you're not weighing the ball. And for the lasagna recipe, we're gonna make 300 grams of flour. Typically, you wanna think like 75 to 100 grams per person if it's the main dish, but because this is just going in between layers, the dish will really feed 4 to 6 people, but we're gonna do 300 because it's not like the main part of the dish, right? There are gonna be lots of vegetables and other things in it. So, ooh, oh, hey, look out. All right, that's 100. 300's a lot. We're gonna get that pasta muscle workout today. 300. 235. Oh, I went over, so that's not a huge deal. You can just pull some out, put it back in the bag. All right, we got 300. So you're gonna wanna have a clean surface to work on. Here's my clean surface right here. Semi-clean anyway. So just dump your flour straight onto your surface. If you want to do it on a cutting board, you can, but I just like getting in there on the surface. If you have like marble or something like that, you might want to do it on a cutting board. So, hello everyone. All of my pasta friends are here. All right, well, you guys know what's coming next then. We're gonna make the well, right? We're gonna make our little castle and make the fortress walls of the castle really strong by kind of pinching them up on the sides. Like, this is our flower castle and no one must breach the walls. Okay, there we go. All right, a couple of reasons why I wanna pinch them and kind of make them high is because when we put the eggs into it, as we're whisking the eggs and bringing in the flour each time, I don't want the egg to fall over everywhere. So, hey everyone, thanks for watching. All right, so how many eggs did I say we needed for 300 grams of flour? Anybody? 3, that's right, 3. So, if you guys remember from the video before, you're gonna do the do-si-do with the eggs, okay? So you're gonna put them into the well. Remember this part? And you grab your partner round and round and do-si-do and round you go. Oh, I don't know the words to the song, do-si-do. All right, do-si-do, just to make sure you have enough room for the eggs when you crack them in there, okay? You don't want your well to be too small. Reinforce your fortress again. And you're gonna crack your eggs right into the center, just like that. 2 and 3. 1, 2, and 3. So easy. All right. Add a little pinch of salt and olive oil if you want to. If you don't, that's okay. I hate to turn my back to you, but I'm going to grab some salt. I don't like to do that in videos because I feel like, well, then I'm not interacting with you. And I like seeing you right there. So just a little pinch of salt right into the center. And now we're gonna start whisking in the eggs. And I want you to kind of get into it. Get your pasta dough workout today. You're gonna start whisking, okay? Can you see that? All right, hope you can see it. And each time you whisk, like maybe I'll push to this side, maybe I'll push to this side, maybe to that side a little bit. Each time you're moving around, you're gonna bring in a little bit of flour each time you whisk, okay? I find that the faster I go, the less mistakes I make with this. Sometimes it wants to go over the wall. You just flop it back in. Flip flop. What have y'all been up to today? Anything fun? I've been picking pears, checking on bees. Apparently some of my echinacea has some kind of weird disease, so I'm gonna have to pull up some of it. It looks crazy. I'll post a picture later. It's like in the cone, you know, like they call it cone flower, on the cone part, like more flowers were growing out of it. It's crazy. Apparently, like some kind of grasshopper or something gives it that disease when it pollinates it. Weird stuff. All right. Hey, Hoolie. I haven't seen you in forever. It's so good to see you, Hoolie. All right, so you continue to do it, it's becoming pasty. Can you see the paste? So it's a little bit harder to whisk now. No, not a big deal. Just keep going. You're probably gonna say, can I do this in a mixer? Well, sure, but that takes all the fun out of it. It's really handmade if you make it with your hands, right? Hoolie, come out to the farm and see me sometime. My friend Hoolie, I'm not sure if she still does or not. I don't want to mess this up, but she was the owner of Luna's. I think she might still be, but I'm not sure. But I love that restaurant, and she's an amazing chef, so I'm glad to see you on here. All right, now it's pretty pasty, so I'm going to start to bring in a little bit of flour a little bit at a time. Every egg is different, so unless you weigh out your egg too, you might need a little more flour, you might need a little less flour, depending on the day, the type of flour, how big the egg is, etc. All right, so you don't want to just put it all in at one time. You're going to do a little bit at a time. So what I like to do is pull a little bit in, and then I'm going to pull up, push forward and down, turn, pull up, push forward and down, turn, pull up, push forward and down. I used to teach kids, and I'd have them say that over and over again. Turn, pull up, push forward and down, turn, pull up, push forward and down. Really, like, unlike other things, you really can't knead this too much unless you knead it till it's so dry you can't do anything with it. And I think at that point you'd be like, oh, this doesn't feel right. So as it starts to get a little bit harder, I'm gonna start kneading it harder too. So more muscles. And I keep a little stool next to me. It's behind me because I need some leverage. That's why they call me Tiny Chef. So I'm going to stand on the stool and do it. Just like that. Turn, pull up, push forward and down. Can you see each time bringing in a little bit more flour? And every time you do that, I'm pushing this into the center so you're exposing a little bit of whatever's wet in the center. Push hard. Your pasta workout. All right, keep working it. You're gonna keep doing that for a few minutes. So while we're doing that, and you guys are watching me work so hard, is anybody out there making it too, or are you gonna do it tomorrow? Let's talk about how long this pasta needs to rest. So after we're done kneading it, I'm gonna put a little bit of flour on the outside of the pasta so that the plastic wrap that I'm gonna wrap it in doesn't stick to the outside of it. I'm gonna wrap it up tightly in plastic wrap. Why tightly? Because air is the enemy of the pasta once you make it. Okay, so once you roll this out, if you let it dry, that's the shape it's gonna be in. And you don't want a big lump of pasta like this dried, so you don't want it to dry out. You let it rest in your refrigerator. We're gonna do it overnight, but you can do it for about 30 minutes to an hour. An hour is probably better than 30 minutes. Just to let it relax a little bit. Let the gluten chain form so that it'll have good elasticity when you roll it out and it won't just break all to bits. And yeah, so you can leave it up to 3 days and, ooh, there goes my hair. Up to 3 days in the fridge. You can also freeze this wrapped up tightly, bring it out and bring it to room temperature and then roll it out. Okay, it's feeling pretty good. Can you see how pretty? It's not quite ready yet. I like to, at this point when it's starting to look like it's ready, kind of push the outer edges into the center. Can you see? Just like that. Try to show you. Just like so. And you see that as I did that, I exposed some more wet side. So that means I need to get more into it. You can do it, put your back into it. You can do it, put your back into it. Everybody get your back into it. Just keep on kneading. So I hope all of you are having a good summer. And if you don't live on a farm, I hope you are going to the farmers markets on the weekends and getting some fresh produce and supporting your local farmers. They're out there in this heat from morning until night. I don't know if that's a Missy Elliott song, but I just remember that song. You can do it, put your back into it. I don't think I'm singing it right either. Oh well. This looks beautiful to me. I'm gonna go a couple more rounds. Sometimes if I do like too big a piece of pasta, I have to like use my elbow to get like good strength in there. Makes the pasta taste good. It's a full body workout. It's one of those HIIT workouts. Put your elbow in it. You know it's gonna taste good. It's kind of like orecchiette. You know that pasta, why it has the little ridges in it is because they use their knuckle to make the little orecchiette, the little ears. In Italian, the pasta called orecchiette. They use this part. So you probably recognize like that, those wrinkles in your knuckles in the pasta. Leave it to the Italians to have really cool things like that. It's kind of why I'm obsessed with Italian cooking. All right, that feels beautiful. It's nice and firm, not too soft, not sticky at all. If yours is sticky at all, you need to put flour on it, okay? We didn't use all of the flour as you see, but we used the majority of it. Now, a little bit, oh, was that Ice Cube? Thank you. I don't know who it is. Put flour on the outside, wrap it up, and put it in the fridge, and we will revisit this tomorrow at 4 o'clock on Instagram Live. Thank you all for cooking with me and hanging out with me for a little bit in my kitchen. Anybody have any questions? Tomorrow we're gonna be making lasagna noodles, so nothing fancy. If you want to go ahead and roll it out, if you've done it before, you can just roll it out to like almost your thinnest setting, and you can either dry it or keep it in the fridge, but just make sure you've got flour on the outside of the sheets so that they don't stick together, and just leave them in sheets. And then I'll show you what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to boil them for a second, put them in the dish, and then layer it with lots of yummy farm fresh vegetables that I got from Coldwater Creek Farm, a bechamel sauce I'm going to show you how to make, and some sausage from Windy Hill Farm in North Carolina. Shout out to my friends. Follow my friends at Coldwater Creek Farm. I think they're at 2 Organic Farmers, and Windy Hill Farm is Windy Hill Farm NC. And of course, I want you to follow my honey page, which is The Tiny Farm Honey. I'm the Tiny Farm Honey. Do you get it? Do you get it? And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Love you guys. Bye.